What's up, YouTube? Band-Aid here. We're back again with another video. We are bringing you today game battles. I guess UMG could be specific too for this. Mainly just played GB, but class setups for competitive. Guys, if you haven't ever played competitive, this will give you a general start as to what class you should be using. And then if you do play, just give you a different idea of what I use and maybe give you some tips. And if you also have tips for me, tell me what you use in the comments below. I'd definitely like to know how you run your classes, and maybe I could implement some of those into my games. So we'll go ahead and get on started. So first of all, you can see is the character. We'll just go over specialists first. Obviously, there is draft sometimes, specialist draft, depending on the selections that are made in the game. If specialist draft isn't off, I mean, I almost always run Heat Wave. Just depends on the map though. Honestly, on this map, if it was infection, I like to personally use camo. I use camo normally for like the A push out of the broken, just so I can pop camo inside broken, and then I can push out, and a lot better chance of getting a kill. They don't see you running out as easily. Infection's just a really open map. I mean, I guess on B-bomb people like to camp corners, so I mean you could run Heat Wave. It's not bad. It's pretty good too. These are my two that I usually run though. I'm not really that good with glitch. Overdrive, I mean I can use it. If specialist draft's on and two people have already picked these two, I mean I can do overdrive or psychosis. Psychosis I feel like is just kind of hit or miss though. Guys, if you didn't know, I didn't know this until like a couple months ago as far as psychosis, but on the back of the card it tells you right here that where's it at? There it goes. It says clone will mock, the very bottom one under 3-2, clones will mock fire at enemies, notifying you of their presence. Guys, I never knew this. I thought they would just randomly shoot at times. No, like if the enemy's nearby, they will alert you by the psychosis drone shooting. So that gives you a note, like, because a lot of people know that, hey, these psychosis spots are fake, I'm not going to shoot. And so they'll just let them run by, but your psychosis drones, they will fire to let you know, hey, there's a guy in this area. So if you didn't know that, man, it definitely helped me out a lot. So it can be useful, but I just feel like a lot of times they're kind of really random. They'll run in, you'll pop them trying to go into cave, you know, when Hunted was still around, and like they would run behind you, or they won't go in the direction that you want them to, even though it says on the top clones will prefer to run in the direction you are facing. I just feel like that's really sketchy. It doesn't always do that, but yeah, it's a really good tip on psychosis if you didn't know about that. So yeah, it just depends on the map. This one I definitely like to use camo. As far as like stronghold, I like using Heat Wave just because everything's inside on that map. You can usually get a really good radius with your Heat Wave. Top or bottom mansion. Redwood, that's another one. I really like to use camo on that one. I like to hit A with camo, pop camo, wrap around that tree. Usually you can get a first blood on that one. Let's see, that one's not a map anymore. Fringe, I like Heat Wave on this one. It's my preference. And then evac, I love Heat Wave on this one, a lot more close quarters battles. And then breach, I like Heat Wave on this one too, just because there's a lot of wall runs too, and there's the palace, and I feel like if they're on B-bomb, head glitching it or whatever, you can just do that wraparound from mid onto the wall, and then jump up really high, Heat Wave, and come down and get them. So that's just my preference. As far as streaks, it just kind of depends. CWL rules, they've started banning the Guardian and Sentry, so you can't use those. And then UMG, it's a little bit different. I usually play just on game battles though, so this is usually my score streak setup. I'll do RC, Guardian, and then I'll do Dart. So yeah, I'll run those three, RC, Guardian, Dart. I'm really, really good with the Dart. I didn't know this for the longest time ever as well. On the Dart, Exonerate showed me this, but if you push L1, it actually slows the Dart down. A lot of people don't know that. I've seen like Nate Shot in his streams, like he doesn't know it because he just runs it around quick. I just don't feel like it's a common thing because like people don't use it as often. But I mean, if you look at it when you're flying the drone, it shows you in the bottom left hand corner like, hey, L1 to slow down, which it'd probably be L2 for you guys if you're not. I play flipped. I fire with my front triggers, so that's just how I like to do it. I feel like you can get faster response time. And I've broken a lot of my triggers with firing the semi-auto guns. Back in Ghost, I think I broke like 3 controllers trying to quickly fire with the right trigger or 2. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and jump into the classes. So I have my top 2 as my subs, middle 2 AR, and then my bottom one I do an overkill. So first one, just a VMP. I like running quick draw and stock. For the longest time, back when the game first started, everyone would run like quick draw, stock, long barrel, and then if you didn't know, long barrel really doesn't do hardly anything for subs, so it's pretty much pointless. And I don't know. It's personal preference. Some people like running grip and they swear by it. I just don't feel like it kicks that much less or more without it, so I just don't run it. So I really like running quick draw grip just to get a faster snap on my sub. And then I like to run stock. Stock, I feel like in search has become so much more popular. As far as subs, I feel like it's a must. If you're not running stock, guys, I feel like you should give it a try. I really think you'll like it. You move so quick in and out of cover and around corners. If you don't feel like if you don't need quick draw, I mean, you can always sub it out for grip. If you feel like you want to have a little bit more handle of grip, but just me personally, I don't feel like it really does that much for me. But that's just me. So the next two, I like running 2 flashbangs. Flashbangs are so overpowered on this game, and a lot of people don't run tac masks, so I really feel like flashbangs are very beneficial. And then I like to run afterburner, fast hands, and then blast suppressor, dead silence. So yeah, that's it. It kind of just depends on the map too, depending on if I run afterburner or not. Sorry guys. Just came from outside doing some yard work, dude. The allergies here in Oklahoma are awful. I'm dying right now because of allergies. So that's pretty much it on that class. Class 2, pretty much the exact same setup, VMP, quick draw, stock. But then I like to run frag, flashbang instead. So I have change it up, instead of 2 flashes, I do a frag. And then I like to have a flak jacket class. A lot of people like to run RCs. Guys, if you didn't know, within the first 15 seconds, if you haven't thrown anything or shot your gun, you can switch classes. So it's really beneficial to be able to switch real quick to a flak jacket class. So I just run this one. And then if it's a map that's not really like a lot of wall running, like this map doesn't have a lot of wall running, but Afterburner, since it's such a wide open map, does help you get around a little quicker. But say if it's a map like Stronghold, really not a lot of reasons to have Afterburner. So Flashjack would be a really nice class to use on this one. So I run that. But then, like I said, as far as the sub setup, I've been doing it a lot lately because I've seen it and I really feel like it helps me. When I'm on Redwood and you're running the B route to B-bomb, I've started running this setup. I'll get rid of Blast Suppressor and I'll just throw a Tac Mask. I feel like it's such a crucial thing to have on B-bomb. People wall run and they flash real quick and it can run up the whole B push, whether you're guarding on defense or you're on offense. So I feel like with the way a lot of gunfights go down on B-bomb so quick in the round, I don't feel like it's that beneficial to have Blast Suppressor. If you haven't seen, there's a YouTuber called Exclusive Ace. He put a really nice video talking about Tac Mask. I mean, not Tac Mask, sorry, Blast Suppressor, and the way the thruster sounds, not the sound, but like the ping that it gives on the minimap, the way it all works. So I'll just give you a quick rundown on it. So the way it works is, if you jump up in the air when your thruster meter is full, it will ping the enemy's minimap, letting them know that you're using your thruster. But if you slide, it will not show up on the minimap. And then on top of that, as long as your thruster meter isn't completely full, you can jump up in the air as many times as you want, and it will not ping you at all on their minimap. So the easiest way to do it, in simple terms, is to slide, and that takes away your meter a little bit, and then you can jump after that. So you slide and then jump, however you want to do it. So it works really well that way. I mean, the sound is still heard, but if they're far away, they're not going to hear it. So that's just the easiest way to get around with it, is if you're going to run Tac Mask, do like a slide and then burst, slide, burst. Or you can just jump, slide. I like to do that too. So Redwood is probably the only map that I run Tac Mask on. You'll see a lot of people just give up Blast Suppressor. I personally liked the silence aspect for me, and I don't like to have to think about showing up on people's mini-maps or having to just take that extra thought that, hey, they're going to see this on the radar. So that's what I run that. Next 2 classes, I got a M8 with the new recent updates. I'm sure if you haven't heard, in GB variant, or GB, yeah, not in CWL, but in GB and on UMG, they banned the Varics real quick because it gave you way less recoil. And then whenever you're getting fired at, it decreased like the center speed, so the time it takes for the gun when it fires up to come back down, and then when you're getting shot as well, it decreases the recoil. So this one was very, very overpowered. It was like the equivalent of having like 2.5, 4 grips on your gun. But the boa sight's still really good. The recon does it too, but that one's just kind of really zoomed in, so I don't feel like it's really good. This one almost exactly mimics the reflex, and it still gives you a benefit with the recent update a while back, like a few weeks ago. It still gives you a 10% decrease in your recoil, so it's kind of like having a grip on it. So that's nice too. And then actually yesterday when we were GBing, this really helped me out a lot. So whenever you're on Stronghold, or not Stronghold, my bad, it's Infection, and you know you're like in Broken and you're looking in Barn, and people like to head glitch that left side, and it's really hard to see them. The boa came in clutch for me because it lights up red whenever it sees an enemy, and I couldn't even see him, but it lit up red, so I knew to dip out of there because the guy was sniping, and it saved me from getting sniped. So I really like it. I used to always run ELO just because it's a lot more clean, but with how less recoil the bow is, I really have gotten used to it, and I really don't mind it. So if you haven't tried it out, definitely I would try it out. This attachment here is kind of personal preference. Some people die by quick draw on the ARs, and then some people really love long barrel. I don't know, I kind of see myself going back and forth. I feel like you get more one bursts with the long barrel at times, and I feel like I use long barrel just more on like long range maps. So like I'll use it on Infection, and then I think the only other one that I use it on is Redwood, just for like the guarding A-bomb, and then on Infection I like to use it for guarding on B Street. Otherwise I like running quick draw. Some people think I'm crazy for running long barrel just because you give up that quick snap of your AR, but I feel like I move around a lot with the M8, so fast hands, that'll work for that instead. And then I like running a frag grenade. It kind of depends on the class, but definitely for Infection, man. You nade over this to the left of that picture, you nade over that to B Street. I've gotten so many nade kills hitting that B Street. A lot of people, I counter that because I know a lot of people do that, so I run trophy on my secondary class, so especially on Infection on defense, I'll run a trophy to block that. But yeah, if it's depending on the map, I'll run a frag, but if it's something like Breach and there's a lot of wall running, or even on Redwood, there's not really a lot of spots to get nade kills, so if I like to run an AR and like help on A Street, I'll run Afterburner just so I can wall run a little bit better, so that's the kind of two that I'll toggle between that. And then stock is it's necessary for AR to be able to strafe back and forth. Some people you don't see use it, but almost a lot of the pros, a lot of more competitive people will use it. Pistol is kind of personal preference. Sometimes, I don't know. Here lately, I feel like I'm getting a lot better with the RK5, but I mean, there's only 5 bursts in it, so if you don't hit your shots, you'll definitely get YouTube like the Big Cheese. If you look at the top 5 fails of the week, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. He heat waves a guy and uses his RK5, misses the shots. He hits some but doesn't kill him. The guy gets unheat waved and then kills him. So yeah, if you're not very accurate, you don't hit your shots, you're definitely not gonna get the kill. But it melts up close. That's why I like it. But then you also have the L card too, which is really nice. But I think it's like a 4-shot kill no matter what. So it definitely takes a lot more bullets. But it is nice having an auto as a pistol too. MR6 people have really gotten away from just since they nerfed the fire rate, as far as like the maximum fire rate. You can't spam it as quick, and so the RK5 is just a really good secondary to have. And then just the standard fast hands, blast suppressor, dead silence, that's pretty normal. The second one, like I said, I changed this up. Sometimes I'll just make this another M8, but I've really started to like, I came back to the Shiva here in the last few months, especially like on the long range maps as well. Like on Redwood, I feel like I can hold down Infection, man. The boa as well, again, just because of the recoil, quick draw, and stock. I used to start trying out like a stock overkill with the haymaker. I just feel like I was getting way too many hit markers with the haymaker. A lot of people lately have been using the KRM though, so it might not be a bad thing to try like a Shiva overkill KRM. I might start trying that like for Breach inside A-bomb. But for now, I've been running just quick draw stock just to get that quick aim. And since it takes 2 bullets, you hardly can get a quick kill on that. Same secondary RK5, I already told you about the trophy when I like to use that in certain situations. If it's a map where trophy is not really important, I'll just switch this up and I'll actually make this a flak jacket, so if they do call in the RC class, I can switch to this and still have a long range gun to use. Other than that, I'll use the trophy if not. And then last class, I've been trying to use, I used to snipe a lot when the game came out as far as competitively. I haven't lately just because there's other people that I play with that like to snipe, and so I like to be more of the, I usually like to be like more of the objective sub player. I usually grab bomb a lot, so I like to be a lot more aggressive. Obviously you can still be aggressive with this, with the overkill sub if you just put on fast hands, but I'll switch between fast hands and cold blood a lot of times depending on the map, just because it's a lot harder for you to get shot if you're not lighting up on the optics with your thermal, so I'll switch between that. But a lot of people will cancel it out with the YY. If you're not running fast hands, you can just YY to cancel out your changing weapons faster. But the SVG definitely does the sniper. But a lot of people have been getting on the PO6. If you're accurate with this gun, it is deadly, and I actually like it, but I really haven't used it as much. I like using the thermal. As far as the reticle, a lot of people like the stage fright. It is a nice, clean little red dot look. But I personally like the fusion. With the thermal scope being blue, you can see the outline of the fusion is blue. You honestly don't see that at all on your scope. You just see the middle dot, so I really like that one. That's my personal favorite. And then VMP again, quick draw stock, and then, like I said, blast suppressor, dead silence. And then I toggle between that. Guys, that pretty much it wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, throw a like. I'd definitely like to know your opinions in the comments below. What do you use? What do you like about what I use? And if you have any tips on what you use or any variables. I've been also, oh man, let's throw this in real quick, sorry. Last night, we did a bunch of GBs, and I've been starting to run the Man of War with bow as well, because the recoil. I was running quick draw and stock with it, pretty much this exact setup. Oh my gosh, this Man of War was melting. So if you haven't tried the Man of War, I've tried it before in the beginning of the game. I didn't really like it. I didn't feel like it was that good. I really liked the KN, honestly, over the Man of War. But I was using it last night, and I just feel like at times the M8 is just inconsistent, and I'm sure you all know that too. Like, sometimes you feel like it's on and you're just hitting all your shots, you're melting people, and then sometimes you're getting hit markers for days and you're not dropping anybody. If that happens to you and you're getting frustrated, try to change it up. This Man of War, I'd given it a chance, didn't really like it, and then last night, man, I was doing so well with it against M8, especially on Redwood too. From broken to the window and B-bomb, man, I was melting people at that distance against M8s. So just give it a shot, man. This setup is really nice, and you might like it. But other than that, guys, this wraps up the video. Like I said, throw a like on this video. I'd definitely appreciate the support. Show me in the comments section what you like about it, what classes that you run, what is your setups, and maybe I can give those a try. And guys, thanks again, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.